Today on episode 24, is Demon's Souls a PS5 launch title? Gotham Knights revealed a DC fandom, and Ghost of Tsushima will get a new multiplayer Legends mode. All that and more.
Let's hear that intro. What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to episode 24 of the Home of Play podcast. Each and every Monday, the two best friends join forces to give you all the latest in PlayStation rumors, news, and reviews, and that's because we're the real PlayStation fans. I'm your host, Steve, and with me, I'm joined by the king of platinum trophies himself, Christopher.
Hello.
Hello, Christopher. How's your week been?
It's been okay.
Are you on holidays?
I'm now on holidays.
Hallelujah!
Raise the roof.
Nice.
It's good.
And what has your week entailed?
What has the week entailed for me? Not too much. Pretty much just getting through the week, trying to get through work. Lots of stuff going on there. Otherwise, there's stuff I need to do in the house. I'm thinking of doing my, I guess, spring, winter, summer, fall cleaning.
Nice.
I haven't done one in a while. I went through some of my old electronics, pulled out some old stuff, threw stuff away. Some other stuff that who knows how to throw away. But otherwise, that's pretty much it. I got some shopping I got to do a little bit afterwards.
You do have a balcony, so you could always just lop it off the side, you know?
How far can I throw it?
Once it hits the ground, it's someone else's problem.
Someone else's problem. I like it.
I've had a very not great week. Just house issues, more like paperwork for the house. My hopes and dreams constantly shattered. Yeah, not a lot of good, but there is some good stuff. We'll get to that later. If you like this and would like to support the Home of Play podcast, please help make others aware through the power of word of mouth. Each month we are growing, and it's all because of you lovely gamers helping to spread the cause. If you could also subscribe on your podcast service of choice, rate us 5 stars on iTunes or any other podcast service that allows it, that would be extremely appreciated. If you have a burning comment, question, or complaint, I want to hear from you. Please send either of those to our email address, homeofplaypodcast@gmail.com, and we will read your questions on the show or while we play the new multiplayer mode of Tsushima that I cannot wait for. Yeah, it's going to be so good.
So good.
So good.
It's free.
It's not even out in Omori. Like, it's going to be good because I love the freaking game.
Yeah.
On today's episode, we have 7 news articles to discuss. But before all that, as always, let's begin with what we've been playing this week. Chris, what are you playing?
Well, this week was definitely a Ghost of Tsushima week, which is great.
The best week that one can have.
It's a good week, yeah.
Good week.
For gaming. Loving the game. Just everything about it's so great. It works so well. There's the few bugs I've run into is sometimes where you jump into an area where your character does this kind of floaty jump thing, but the game's even smart enough to self-correct itself and shift you off a little bit. It's great. No issues whatsoever. Finished the first act. I'm now on act 2. I did a whole lap around the island just to remove some fog of war, do a couple side things, and now I'm just taking out all the side quests in that area. So that's been pretty good. Apart from that, didn't do too much. One goofy thing I did was, you may remember an old title, Little Big Planet on PS3. You're shaking your head no, but you know what it is.
I know.
So I was bored the other day. I turned it on, and it's not one that I've platinumed. I keep having it on the back burner to try and get all the bubbles and all that kind of stuff. But some of the hardest ones are the make a community map, and you have to get people to share or like your thing or like you as an author type thing. So I think it was a week and a half ago I was bored, and I have one saved community map in my own storage, and it's a map that can essentially get you, I think, 16 trophies just by doing that one mission that I have. Jump highest, super speed, all the bubbles and stuff like that. So I reposted that back on the community website. I never did post it originally, and kind of just left it there and turned it off, and then turned it on the other day. And as soon as I turned the game on, 4 trophies popped up for me because people, I guess, were liking, sharing, and hearting all that map, which is interesting because I'm guessing the game's so old now, they don't get a lot of new community maps. Maybe I'm just my theory. Maybe there's still a lot of people playing it. I know some people might still be, but I guess they're probably not getting as many community maps made. So mine shows up at the front of the list, I guess.
Yeah.
So I'm like, sweet. I might even get like the harder one where you have to get like 50 likes and all that kind of stuff. So I don't know. Thought that was pretty humorous. Made me chuckle. Apart from that, I think I did a little bit more Siege. I'm kind of getting excited for Sam Fisher to be on there, which I think he might be on right now as of recording this, but I probably don't have enough credits to get him anyway to try him. So other than that, yeah, that's pretty much it for my week. How about you?
I did what I would never have thought I would have done, and I got the platinum for Tsushima.
Yay!
So it's like my first, I would say, well-deserved one.
Yeah.
Not the hardest out there, obviously, but I'm never gonna get the hard platinums. I don't like the idea of like hating the game just to get a trophy.
Mm-hmm.
So I always want to leave on a positive note. So the games that, ask you to play this on the hardest difficulty or 100 times over, multiple different endings, I just feel like by the time I'm done trying to get that, I'm just not going to like the game the same I did the first time. So I typically stray away, but Tsushima seems to be this special beast where I just loved it so much that even trying to find every fox shrine or running over here to get a nice bath in the mountain, the cold mountainous area, it just was all good. So yeah, I went and just got it almost fluidly. Honestly, I was very close to it just naturally. And
well, it's nice that the collectibles in that game actually give you like in-game kind of rewards, like increased maximum health and charms and upgraded charms and stuff like that. So that definitely helps.
Oh, for sure. So yeah, that was, I don't know, it's definitely, I keep saying this every episode, but I have a hard time believing anything will knock this out of my game of the year. I'm optimistic for like future titles, but yeah, this game's just so
like we
good.
were kind of at like 9s, I think, a 9 out of 10. And then now with this new mode coming out,
yeah, it's ridiculous.
Like, it's going to be hard to like fault it for any little minor thing when they give that much free content, and
yeah,
it's great.
But no free upgrade for Control though.
No.
Yeah. So that was basically it. I was pondering turning on Mortal Shell. Just didn't feel like I had time for that this week.
Is that the demo?
No, the full game's out.
Oh, it's out now.
Yep. So go grab that for like 30.
That one's not co-op though, right?
No, there's no multiplayer, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I mean, the diehards aren't going to want it, so it's fine. And I heard it's a little short, so it might be something for me right now, just something that I don't have to, give up weeks and months of my life
think
for.
Much.
No, exactly. Other than crying from dying so much. But yeah, that's it for me. So we're just going to go into the news. Article 1, is Demon's Souls a PS5 release title? Question mark. On August 13th, 2020, a Korean rating for Demon's Souls has emerged. On this very same day, Spider-Man Miles Morales was also rated, which was previously announced by its developers Insomniac Games to be fall holiday release. Based on both games being rated at the same time, we are left wondering if Demon's Souls will actually be a console launch title. Obviously, nothing guarantees this launch date. Demon's Souls could in fact release in early 2021 instead. But regardless, it looks like we will be getting Demon's Souls released sooner than anyone actually expected. Chris, do you have any thoughts on this?
Demon's Souls is one that was the PS3, like that's the first one.
That's right?
Yeah, so I remember I tried it. I think I even own it, but I wasn't really into the Souls gameplay style at the time.
Neither was I.
I could probably see myself playing it now, but I don't feel like I would spend full price on it either. Like I'd wait, although you'd be waiting forever because they never lower their prices. Rare.
Yeah, there's sales, right?
Like sales.
Dark Souls 3 was just on sale for like super cheap.
But that was like, what was it, like 80% off, but the base price is still almost full price.
I don't know, like on sale, it is. But you're right, like when it's off sale, yeah, it's $80.
It's still, $80. So, I mean, I'm interested in it. Am I going to get it right away? No. It's something I'll have to keep my eye on. Like I said, I'm getting more into that series, so.
I have to see how this year falls out. I'm probably going to wait for, well, I guess I don't have to wait. Cyberpunk's going to be so late that I will have the PS5. So am I still going to be playing that? Am I going to
have the PS6?
Yeah, I know. And then Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I just don't know where I'm going to be. If it is a launch thing, I still think I will buy it. I am pretty excited for this. I think I'm more excited than you. But I do want to hear some special words. I do want them to hear them talk about it in general. But are they going to add multiplayer? If they do, then yeah, I'm more likely to get day one. I love, like, you know, you can make fun of me that I don't, you know, clear these games by myself, but I just have a way better time with the multiplayer. So if they say that, if there's some just general life improvements here, that'd be great. So I'd like to hear those before I say, like, yeah, this is day one, but I am excited that it's coming sooner. I honestly, just because they've only said one thing when they first revealed it and they haven't spoken of it since, it kind of worried me. So yeah, I'm just optimistic and very happy to hopefully see this out sooner.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of people going to be excited for this one. So
and it would help in the, you know, as we'll get to later with Deathloop being no longer a launch console exclusive release, then, you know, this might just take its spot, and that'd be great. Article 2, 505 Games is sorry but not sorry.
Following last week's news that current owners of the game Control from 505 Games would not be eligible for a free next-gen upgraded version of the same game, players, not surprisingly, became quite vocal online, asking general questions about, well, why is this game essentially not going to be a free upgrade as opposed to all these other companies that are doing it for Control? This week, however, 505 Games released a statement on Control's website which explains in detail why players won't be getting a free upgrade for next gen, but assures players that they will, however, see performance upgrades for while playing Control on the next gen consoles through the respective backwards compatibility features. The statement mentions blocks for why they cannot give free upgrades to everyone, but doesn't mention beyond that what the blockades are and or which groups of players would be left out, though some online are quick to point the finger to Sony due to the console's lack of information on the PS5's upgrade plans or features. Yeah, so I read the article that they posted, or whatever it is, their explanation, and I don't see how that's an issue. Maybe, like, I would rather them just say they don't want to do that, like they just don't want to do it, instead of them saying, oh, we can't get everybody the free upgrade. We won't tell you why, but there's reasons why certain people would be easier to upgrade than other people that couldn't be as easier to upgrade. I'm not seeing that. I'm sure there could be reasons, but why not just give fans more of details into why this is an issue?
Yeah, I'm not understanding it myself. You know, I do understand that Xbox has their smart delivery system, and so I think that's why people are pointing the finger at Sony, just because they're kind of assuming that, hey, like, Xbox has all this great free, easy upgrade shenanigans going on. PlayStation's not talking about it, but I still don't understand, like, why would PlayStation get in your way of a free upgrade?
I really, I don't think that's true. I don't think that's what's happening. But
I just think it's an older game, and by older, you know, 1 year. So they had to put extra work into it to get it, like, next gen ready, and they just want compensation, but they won't come out and say that. Now, that's just me speculating, but that's just the only way I can read this, honestly.
Yeah, no, I think so too. I think they just want more money.
Yeah, and it really sucks for people like you and other people, that early adopters, passionate people. Like, I cannot imagine if you were, like, you know, die hard, like, this is my game of the year, and now they're telling you, hey, like, thanks for liking it, thanks for supporting us, thanks for getting us to this next milestone, $40 please.
Yeah,
you know, I just I don't know, it's just bad all around. I never want to say silence is the answer, but it honestly probably would have been a better situation just not say anything, honestly.
Probably would have been, yeah.
Or, you know, free upgrade. They just kept saying, like, you know, and I remember you saying that it was almost confusing, because you're like, well, free, like, enhancements, free upgrade. Like, they're using this terminology of being like, well, if you play it backwards compatible, which is the one positive thing to take out of this, is that they're saying it's 100% backwards compatible, and that the base, like, stats on these consoles are going to boost it just naturally, great, but it's still not, it's not going to have ray tracing. It's not going to have, and not that it's really been confirmed. I'm not too sure if they confirmed it, but I assume I've heard people talk about it being in the PC version. So I would assume that would be one of the, upgrades.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it just all around doesn't leave a great taste in my mouth, but what can I do? I can't make them give it to you. I'm sorry. Article 3, Bloodlines 2 says Goodnight, Sweet Prince to narrative lead. In a statement on August 11th from both Hardsuit Labs and Paradox, we were given word that Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2 was being delayed into an unspecified month in 2021. Now, weeks later, Paradox has updated eager fans even more disappointing news: the firing of the narrative lead Brian Mitsoda and Kai Clooney, the creative director for Bloodlines 2. The news comes with little explanation or details on why the terminations were made, but it's thanks to a statement from Brian Mitsoda himself to Rock, Paper, Shotgun. We now know it was not a mutual agreed upon separation. In Brian's statement, he reveals that the termination was actually on July 16th, about a month earlier than the announcement, and he goes on to explain that he was shocked by the decision and that he felt disappointed he would not be able to see the game into completion. It's important to note that Brian was also the narrative lead in the original game of the series. Chris, do you have any feelings? I know you're not really into the Masquerade.
I'm not. Yeah, I never played them. It's always disappointing when you have someone who's put their sweat and blood into a project and then they get cut for some reason. You never know. He might have done something. Who knows? They could be going a different direction, but it's weird that you would do that for someone who's done the game for the first full game and then, 3/4 of the new one? And
in their in Paradox's statement, they even go on to be like, "Oh, we thank him for getting us to this point," and it sounds like they're still using his entire storyline. Yeah, it's just really weird. And, in a year with many scandals and reasons to actually terminate people, to not really give any reason, not that they need to slander or anything like that, but it just feels weird that there's no explanation. He's confused. So then, if you were someone to do something bad that would, make sense why you're getting, ditched at the first place, why would you come out and talk about it? Usually if you did something bad, you'd probably just shut up and be like, yep, I'm gone. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, just move on to the next thing.
So, and then the creative director too.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing I did see, and this is me speculating yet once again, is the guy they're replacing the narrative guy with is somebody that I guess has done a lot of work with Ubisoft, Assassin's Creed, things like that. So I'm wondering if they're kind of just being like, oh, we want sales and we need a guy that knows what's sold before, get us the numbers, where the first game, it was a cult classic, but it was by no means this huge thing, right?
Nothing polished.
So I really hope that's not the case. It's just the only thing I could kind of see in the, the inner workings here.
Mm-hmm.
But moving on to Article 4.
Prince of Persia Remake might be real. Thanks to Guatemalan retail chain Max, we now know that Ubisoft is planning to release a remake of one of the Prince of Persia titles. No further details help make it clear which of the Prince of Persia titles would see the remake treatment, but we can only hope it would be a Prince of Persia Sands of Time. Retail leaks are nothing new to the gaming industry, but it's important to note that they are not always correct. However, in this case, though, it would seem to be more possible than not, as the speculated release schedule of November 2020 would coincide with the upcoming September Ubisoft Forward event, where we would most likely hear about the remake. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest Prince of Persia fan. I like The Warrior Within. I don't think I ever played Sands of Times, actually.
No?
No.
Oh, man, I played that a couple times.
I beat the third one, and then I remember when Ubisoft made that cel-shaded one that came after.
Yeah.
That one was really disappointing. But yeah, I liked Warrior Within. It had a cool theme. I don't know why I always dropped off. And then the third one was okay. Nothing to write home about.
Mm-hmm. I'm a pretty big fan of this series. I didn't know about this until just recently, so I don't know what kind of, maybe they're saying remake. I wonder if it would be the original trilogy all bundled together, because they're not huge by any means. If they would redo all three of them into one, collector's pack type thing.
Yeah.
That's a possibility. That'd be nice. They could definitely use for a polishing.
But if it was a remake, which one do you want remade?
Oh, see, I don't even know. Like they all have good aspects.
You got to pick one.
Like it'd be weird to me if they did like the second one. Yeah, like the second one would be unique to play because of that guy that follows you around throughout the whole game, because that guy was pretty creepy. But yeah, I don't know. Like I can't pick one. I wouldn't pick the third one.
I wouldn't pick the third one.
Like it wasn't my favorite of them.
I only liked it because when I was that young, I was just like, oh, cool. He's turning evil and he becomes this awesome monster. But the mechanics when you were him weren't that fun, actually.
No.
So it was a disappointment.
I would probably say the second one, but it seems weird to me if they would just remake that one.
I always just hear people speak very highly of the first. So I'm assuming if it is a real, if it's a remake, I'm assuming it's that one.
It was really good. It was just short.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they could always add to it if it's
I'm sure.
If they're calling it remake, I mean.
Well, because of Square Enix and Final Fantasy VII remake means nothing. It could be additional. It could be change everything. You know, you just don't know anymore.
But yeah, I'm a pretty big fan of that series. So, yeah, we haven't had one for a while. What was the last one? Forgotten Sands?
Would that be that cell shaded one I was talking about?
No, there was one after that.
Oh, was there? Oh, wow.
There's one or two after that. I think I played them, but I don't remember them being that
I don't
great.
remember hearing about them, honestly.
Yeah, I'd have to show you. I think I have one of them. But, yeah, so that'd be good.
Well, we look forward to September's Ubisoft event. Hopefully we'll hear more. And if it's false, then we will cry ourselves to sleep.
That's different than any other day?
No,
Okay.
It is not.
Moving on to Article 5, Deathloop, no longer launch console exclusive.
In what seems like a year of delays, we have been given word via Arcane Studios' Twitter that Deathloop will no longer be released day and date with the PS5 this holiday season. Though we have no release date, they did give a release window of Q2 2021. Arcane Studio noted the delay to be heavily due to the current pandemic and the toll it has taken on the team and the development. Disappointing news.
Seems sort of schemy to me. Like, let's throw them in our showcase, but it's going to be postponed for a year.
I mean, if it's still 2021, I mean, if we're talking about that showcase, like, you know, the Square Enix showed the one game, and as soon as we saw it, we're like, oh, no release date, Square Enix, so 2030. So then this game, you know, Q2 still not that bad, 2021.
No, it's not.
But yeah, it just sucks that like the launch, like everyone's launch lineup's getting hit, you know, like, and you're right. Like, I just don't know if they would have known about it by then. You know, there's a lot of,
but if to blame it on the pandemic, it makes me think that you should know that you're not going to make it. It would be one thing if like our factory blew up or something, you know what I mean? But they're saying the pandemic. Well, the pandemic's been around for couple months before even the showcases, so it seems sketchy to me.
Yeah, I mean, I feel, I don't want to say it, but I do feel like the pandemic itself's almost getting taken advantage of.
Yeah,
like, because even, well, you know, we're a PlayStation podcast, but forgive me, but like when we want to talk about Halo getting delayed, it's because of the pandemic. It's you know, you can't see me visually right now, but I'm looking at Chris with a look that says, Wheelie, the pandemic is the problem. It wasn't the video that you showed that people called you out for with bad, just god awful graphics and models, and oh my lord. And then they come back, and you know, I mean, how many people came back with different explanations for that? Like, right away they're like, oh no, the streaming quality, we couldn't give you real 4K. Then the next day they uploaded their own 4K images, and holy shit, did that look bad. Like, and then what's your excuse there? Oh, well, COVID. It's like, what? COVID made you post that? Like, you got to be shitting me. And like, so you're right. There are some people I unfortunately, I do think they are taking advantage.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It is what it is. And I'm not super looking forward to this, even though I do like most of their properties.
Yeah, it was not one that was on my, like, I need to have this. This one was one of those things, okay, I need to see more.
Yeah.
Like, they just didn't show enough. The idea seems interesting, but
it seems okay. I don't know. It doesn't even seem that clever to me, so I'm just like, I don't know who this is for.
Yeah.
It like, me who likes Dishonored, like, this isn't speaking to me.
No.
But whatever, we'll let that go. Moving on to Article 6, Ghost of Tsushima Legends, new multiplayer mode.
Sucker Punch has lived up to its name and surprised everyone with a new standalone multiplayer mode for Ghost of Tsushima. The multiplayer will support 2 to 4 players, new game modes, 4 playable classes, a raid to be released at a later date, and will take place in a new location, which looks spiritual and demon-styled. If all of this didn't excite you enough, it was also announced that all of this content would be free of charge for current owners of the game.
Sweet God, that's how you do it.
Jeez, this game's great. It's so good, and like they're just giving us more. Like, I wonder if this is just gonna be an update or if it's actually like gonna be a standalone. Got to download it from the store type thing.
I'm just going to assume it's going to come like a DLC, like a patch. Yeah.
No, like this sounds like fun. I definitely want to do that 100%.
Oh yeah, I'm day one with you. Like,
yeah, for sure we're playing this. Hands down.
Like, I don't know. I've said it 100 times. I'm sorry. I'm saying it again. It's already my game of the year. Now you're giving me multiplayer mode, cooperative multiplayer mode, which is important to me because I don't like competitive
PvP
online anymore, really. Yeah. I don't know, the older I get, the less that interests me. So having cooperative multiplayer with 2 to 4 friends in this world with the gameplay I like, and don't get me wrong, it does sound like there's going to be changes. There's like mythological like legends and magical, like, you know, you see a guy with a bow and it's glowing.
Yeah, supernatural.
Yeah, so there's going to be some changes, but still, like, I just have so much faith in them now because of what I have played already.
So good.
I
just keep saying it.
I know, but you're right. You're absolutely right. That's exactly how, before I fall asleep, that's all I say. Like,
hey, honey, yeah, Ghost of Tsushima, best game ever. Good night.
Yeah, night. the dog, even my dog's from Japan, and he's like, best game ever.
Best game ever. 10 out of 10 woofs.
Yeah, he's like.
And then a raid. I mean, if it's something to the extent of like a Destiny raid, like.
Can you imagine? Like, because that game can be difficult. It's not the most difficult.
You can get overwhelmed for sure.
But I'm like, yeah, I can't imagine what a raid is. I mean, am I going to break my controller today? Like,
yeah.
But
like, are you taking out a fortress?
Even the thought of a raid like that, I'm like, Destiny raid doesn't interest me. This raid, I'm like, yeah, I want to do this.
Yeah. Seems like it's something easier to just jump into.
Mm-hmm. What class would you play, actually? That was a question.
What were the classes again?
Okay, so Samurai, Ronin, Assassin, and Hunter.
Yeah, I mean, typically I'm the hunter, but I don't know. Depends how the game is, because like if is there going to be a leveling system, a ranking system?
I
Who
assume
knows?
there must be.
So it's like I might want to play them all eventually.
Yeah,
it depends, I guess, on what event we're actually doing in the game. Like if it's something where ranged would actually help, then I could do ranged. But yeah, I'm more than happy to anything. I don't care. I pick anything.
I definitely am going to, like, my first thought is like If it's available, I'm going to go Samurai. If not, I could see myself going Ronin or Assassin.
Mm-hmm.
But definitely, I think my first pick, I would do it if like everyone's like, Steve, we need you to do this. Fine. But, you know, if you're telling me like you have full choice right now, Samurai.
Yeah.
But yeah, moving on. Article 7. So as recording, we're actually doing Saturday instead of our normal Friday. So we got to see one of the 2 games getting revealed today, and that is Gotham Knights. So yeah, Article 7. Gotham Knights coming 2021. Announced by DC Fandom Event, we finally see what Warner Brothers Game Montreal has been working on all these years. A story trailer and gameplay trailer have both been revealed online following the announcement, and it looks like the game will follow the Arkham story with Batman being killed in the previous Arkham Knight game, spoiler, and will instead follow the Bat's former sidekicks, including Batgirl, Nightwing, Robin, Tim Drake, and also Red Hood, Jason Todd. The game will focus on the Court of Owls storyline from the comic, but it was insisted that we would see plenty of familiar faces as well. The entire game can be played cooperative with a friend or single player, which will be the first for this series. Did you see anything?
Yeah, it looked really good. I do have concerns that it's turning into a Division-y, Destiny sort of looter shooter.
I was going to make
Batman.
the comparison, and like just going off of the very brief material we saw, but the comparison that we're looking at, let's take Assassin's Creed, I believe it was Unity, and then all of a sudden we got Origins.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden it's like there's loot and
merge of the two.
You know, like all these RPG elements suddenly smashed in, and some people really didn't like that. You know, to this day you can read people complain about, I don't like this RPG Assassin's Creed shenanigans, loot, all that stuff. I'm not against it. I just don't know if I want it in my Arkham game, but I'm also making, you know, early judgments.
Yeah, I mean, if the combat's still there and fluid like it always is, I'm sure, like I bought them all. I'll definitely play it. It's just I don't want it to be an Anthem, Marvel's Avengers looter shooter.
It doesn't And again, from what I've seen, I'm not getting games of a service vibe. If it is, then I'm 100% with you.
Yeah.
But what I'm getting is just like online cooperative, but it's only 2 people, so that's where I'm like, well, I doubt it's games of service. It's
like
2
my
people.
interest level and concern level both went up about the same amount in both regards.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna get this probably day one. Like you said, I've played all of them. I enjoyed all of them. You know, did I have my gripes with Arkham Knight and the stupid tank combat? Yeah. So they're not perfect games by any means.
I don't have any beef not playing as Batman either, technically.
Yeah, like I think I told you already, like I would play Red Hood, I would play Nightwing.
I remember having fun with Nightwing in was that Origins? Was he in Origins? Or was it the third one? I don't remember.
I think it was the third one.
He showed up in one of them, and that was fun to combo fight with him.
I think it was Arkham Knight, because you were doing those Penguin side missions. Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, like I don't know. I'm looking forward to it. Honestly, I haven't seen anything, so I shouldn't say because we haven't seen the Suicide Squad stuff, but I'm just going to speculate that I already like this more than that.
We could pretend that we saw it. Oh, it's just like awful.
God awful. Harley Quinn. Why so much Harley Quinn? We need more Persona characters in games, not Harley Quinns.
Yeah.
Like, give me Anne.
Should we record like if it ends up being good? No.
I honestly.
Like, you never know. I mean, honestly, we're just making fun here, but
poking.
I mean, we want it to succeed, but it just doesn't seem to do that very often.
It just doesn't.
If it's not Batman, it doesn't succeed.
Well, and it's not even that. It's just the source, like the property. What do you want to call it? The source material.
The source material. Yeah.
I just don't have any connection with, and when I have seen it, it's always bad. I just, almost like, can you imagine if they made they tried a Sinister Six movie, and I wouldn't care about that either. Like, I don't want to see like the background workings of Dr. Octopus talking to the Goblin, and he's just like, "Hey, do you have change for 20?" It's just like, that doesn't interest me.
I need to order this laser.
I know what they do in the background. They do bad stuff, so it's like I don't know. I shouldn't go off because I haven't seen it, but it's just I'm so underwhelmed with that reveal of that title that I just don't care.
Yeah, they're gonna kill the Justice League.
But my only hope for that game is they do let you play the Justice League in between.
No,
and then
why would they do that?
Well, I just like, because then I'm like, okay, I get to play a little bit of Superman. I get to play a little bit of Batman, which again, that my speculation is kind of from the early rumors that they were working on a Superman game. So I'm like, oh, maybe they couldn't do a whole game, but they're going to give you little slices.
I'm going to put $10 on that. Not a chance.
Yeah, because that would make it enjoyable. Like, why do that? So you're probably right, but I'm just hopes and dreams.
Hopes and dreams.
In the year of delays, hopes and dreams.
No, I agree with you. 100%. Definitely want it to work, but
yeah,
my expectations are low.
Yeah,
low,
and a lot of Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
Okay, that's it for news. We ran out of the news. You deal with it the way you deal with it. Going on to homework. PlayStation 5's first commercial is now online, so just go on YouTube, search it up. It's very feature heavy, talking about your controller. So
and you will not get a price
or a release date. Imagine that.
I also got an email too from Sony yesterday or today, and it kind of just selling all the highlights of the thing, but no, there's no price
or release date.
No price or release date. Baldur's Gate 3 enters early access on September 30th. That more info could be found on Destructoid for that one.
That is not a PlayStation game.
That's not a PlayStation game, but we are equally excited for it.
We have vetoed it into the show.
Yes. We are now officially excited for Baldur's Gate 3. And we want to see how it's going to work with co-op and the way the story is going to somehow work with multiple people doing it at the same time.
I'm interested because you can even separate from each other. It's crazy. It's crazy. Madness.
Yeah.
Can you imagine a better Tony Hawk secret character than Jack Black as Officer Dick? That one's on Destructoid. If you enjoy the Tony Hawk games, definitely look that up.
Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War is technically confirmed. Full reveal coming next week. This article's from Game Informer.
So this is kind of like news, not news. So that's why we didn't include it in the show. Like, 100 rumors. It's almost been confirmed 8 times that it's called Cold War.
Yeah.
The trailer just goes into like, I don't know, weird, like...
It's cinematic. It uses footage from recorded history and
And I'm no longer a Call of Duty guy, so it doesn't interest me. But I know, Chris, you usually play all of them. I'm pretty
I usually
sure.
play them all. I mean, my favorite of the series is the Modern Warfare trilogy. Other than that, the Black Ops, I'm not as into them as much. I mean, more zombies mode, I guess. But like the Black Ops, I don't even remember them, to be honest.
I definitely think I played the most online for Black Ops 2. 1 and 2 were like my favorite online.
Yeah.
I think they made some good changes, like you said, zombie mode, stuff like that.
They're both, honestly, both the companies, they do a good job at polishing what they can polish, but they just need to actually step up and do a better engine altogether. They got to do it. It's got to happen eventually, because this is like, come on, guys. Come on. It needs, it needs a, fresh dew.
There's a lot of developers we could point out right now. Ubisoft.
Oh, for sure.
Ubisoft. Oh my god, their faces, they're so classic.
EA, just keep what you're doing.
Nobody
cares.
I mean, because the Frostbite like does its job. Like, don't get me wrong, like Battlefield or Battlefront looks amazing. So yeah, that is it for your homework, and that is it for the week. So we will see you again next Monday with hopefully more information. Maybe we'll talk about Suicide Squad and why we're so disappointed. But enough of that. We will see you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Go to the bathroom if you're going to pee on the couch.
No, you get poopy on your couch. Good old